That should be better. Excellent. Thank you, Ravi. It's always helpful to have a sound check. And I don't know why sometimes it forgets little things and then you've got to go find them, especially when the meters say that it's all working fine. Maybe I'm just reading it wrong. There's always a chance of that. So let's get back into it. And welcome along, everybody, was what I was trying to say before. We're back on Newlands. I was just trying to do a couple of little tweaks in the yard here. I've dispatched a load of produce across to the store. And checking out where we're at with things. So we're in August, and what we want to be doing is selling some produce. It looks like we've just sold some produce, so we're now back in positive money territory. We can get our little man bringing his van back, man with a van. So he can come back and fill up. Potted tree load. What have you been up to this week, Ravi? Back on the yard here, what have we done? I've loaded up a couple of trees. We will get a trailer load there. Why is my steering wheel misbehaving as well today? That's better. We've got a couple of things to do today. Might potentially pick up some more trees and put them in our wood chipper. First up, just to clear a little bit of this space over here. And we need to mulch that field now that we got all of the straw off it. And I'm thinking that up here, if we manufacture a little bit of a road that sort of cuts up the side here, there's a nice little area just here where we could put some pigs. And that'll mean taking out at least 2 of these trees and probably the one that's on the slope there. So we might set about, in fact, while it's quiet and we're starting out, that might be a good way to begin the morning is let's get our log lifter over here. I had spent a couple of minutes just doing a few touch-ups to the yard. You might see in the background over there, I've put another shed in. This is, I just sort of created a spot for our maintenance, and ultimately we might put a fuel tank here, so that's sort of just an alternate storage area. I was also looking at the straw and thinking we've definitely got way more straw than we need. It's not great pricing, but we could potentially do a trailer load of straw. So we've got some honey coming in, so we've got a few things to sell. But the main sort of job of the day, I think, is to see if we can get somewhere to put these pigs and get that barley field turned around so that it's ready to plant again. And I am well, Ravi. That's not the device I want on there. That's the device for shoveling. It's been an unseasonally cold week here in Melbourne, so that's been a little bit challenging. What part of the world is home for you, Ravi? $23.08. So that puts you, where are you? That puts you in Europe somewhere, I'm guessing. What country? So I think ultimately we want a field here, I think. So we'll get rid of this tree. And we're going to want it. That's already down. We're going to run a road over here somewhere. So we'll get rid of this one. Romania. Oh, I've not been to Romania. What can you tell us about Romania? What's a fun fact that not many people know about Romania? Let's just get these out of the way. We might get our winch on the back of the tractor here to pull these over where they're a bit easier to deal with. It's Hoya Baku. Hoya. I'm not quite sure what that means. Now, I had a tractor hiding around here somewhere. I was trying to think about where to leave seed. Just move him out of the way for the present. Ah, the haunted forest. That'd be pretty cool. So is it dark and spooky? We can see what you're doing in game. I can see or can't see. Can't see. Aha. That's my error. That should be better. That was just a silly mistake on my part. Thank you. That was just one. When I fixed the microphone problem, I forgot to fix one more button, or forgot to hit one more button and left you on the wrong screen. That wasn't a very clever way to start out, was it? Okay. What's happening over here? Let's just... bitrate is... Why are you recording? That should be better. Right. So what I was saying before was up here. Is where I'm thinking that we will put the pigs. And so I've just cut down a couple of trees that were on the edge here, and I'm thinking we'll run like a little roadway down the side here, but we'll just pull these trees out of the way. So, where are we? Is it R? No. What's the correct key? I've got some rope. Where's the D to attach onto there? Portals to other worlds. Well, that's potentially exciting. Must make travel easier. Have you got a tunnel to down under? That'd be kind of a cool way to go on holiday, wouldn't it? We don't want to winch you in. We just... What am I doing here? How can I... Release is X. Good. Meter logs work pretty well for this trailer. G'day, welcome along, whoever's just joined us. Glad to have you here today. We're just on Newlands and we're just organising somewhere to put our pig pen when we get a chance here. I'm just cutting up some trees to make some space. We won't be doing a lot of logging. We'll just sort of fill the trailer so that we can get these trees out of the way, but also to get some wood chips in the composter in the garden centre. So we've got to go, and that reminds me, we'll send another load over to be sold. We've got to go across to the garden centre in a second. Drag this log around to the right orientation there. These winches are wonderful. I used it a little bit before. What do you not want to release? Come on. That's better. No, it still doesn't want to release. That's very interesting. It's not turned on. Okay. That's a bug I haven't encountered before. Let's go back up here. What are you doing in the doorway there? Why did you not come in properly? Swine. So this is the garden center if you haven't been with us on this map before. And these trees just have a particularly fiddly little sell point. So we use auto drive and 82 Studios global transport pallets to move them around, get them across to the sell point. Hey Tanner, how are you, sir? Welcome along. Hope you are having a good week. We're underway as usual. Whoops, that edge of that building's just going to get in the way. Let's see if we can fill that up. That's filling. Excellent. We've got a few jobs to do here today. We put Mark Thor's Better Bees in last time, and I have to say they are quite prolific honey producers. Playing with a new puppy, goodness, lots of good fun. What breed? Come on, keep loading. There's nothing quite like making you smile than a new puppy. Just watching them learn about the world. Cockapoo. Now I'm guessing that's a cross between a Cocker Spaniel and a Poodle. That's just a wild guess on my part with no inside information. We have a Kelpie cross, which is lots of Kelpie and little bits of other things. We suspect there's a little bit of Labrador in there. He's quite an anxious chap at a difficult start to life, but gorgeous once you get to know him. His name is Rolly. Rolly sounds like a fun name for a puppy. And my daughter has a Doberman puppy called Stella, who's just celebrating her first birthday. Now, is that full now? Not quite. Come on. Move these up a little bit so we can get them in the trigger. Now it's full. So we'll stick this on the back of the truck here, and then we can go back to our trees. When this one sells, we should have enough to sort ourselves out a mulcher. Rolly and 101 Dalmatians. Well, my daughter would be very interested. She's very keen, even though she's in her late 20s. Doesn't stop her being very susceptible to puppies. So we are going to sell these at sell point. There we go. Now, why are you getting so close to that post? That one all needs to down here, doesn't it? Just modify this course a little bit to give us a chance. Get out of there. There's big collisions on this post, which is a little bit annoying, but now we should be able to get it going. Right. Okay, now we've got a container to put them in. We'll get that tractor out of the way. We've got plenty of vehicles and no work being done. Oh, let's get... That was the tractor I wanted to move out of the way. A minute. Welcome along to whoever's joined us. Glad to have you here. Hope you're enjoying your day. We're just clearing some space here. The plan is to cut a road up the side of that little escarpment there and put our pigs at the top, just nestled in along the alongside the railway line. What's that? Pick that up. So that should get the job done. And we'll go and get a mulcher shortly to get mulching started on that barley fields. You up? And if we can get enough produce sold before, without too much intervention, we might get enough cash to buy a new field. So just nudge you across there. Can I say something in Romanian? Highly unlikely, Ravi. Languages are not my thing. My sister is the language person in our family. I do Aussie and a passable English, but that's about it. I've got a couple of words for... I can sort of get by and order coffee or a beer in most German countries, but oops, I didn't cut that back one, that's why. Let's get you, while we're here, cut you off another piece. I'm getting better at cutting 6 metre lengths, I must say. Silverun's done that for me. And I do like this, cutting edge going. Blue. I'm not sure she's all that proficient in Romanian. She speaks about 6 languages, but I'm pretty confident to say Romanian isn't one of them. She's fairly good in German. She is actually a German teacher here in Australia. I can try, but I'm just saying I think that's what the answer will be. Let's get this guy. There we go. Got some more stuff selling, which is what we want to see. But now we definitely have enough money for a mulcher, I think. We need to think about which one we're going to get. You can sit on there. So let's... which tractor do we want to take? Let's pull you off here. We can take the winch off. Turn that off for the minute. We can head across to the shop. We'll get our delivery guy coming back. Has anybody got any tips on what mulches we should be looking for? I'm not sure what I've got going. The corn's looking pretty good. I'm also told we don't have to let the corn fully grow because we're going to chaff it, forage harvest it. We can get it green, so to speak, but I'm not sure at what age we do that. I don't know if anybody's got a better clue on specifics. Our train is perpetually stuck there again. I haven't had a look at that in the last few days. Just sitting there with his worker. And there we go, there's the market. So let's just pop over the road here and get you going back to where you need. Potted tree load. Commence. Oops. Get you out of the way. Got that piece of equipment, which is the cultivator we picked up cheaply last time, which we will need. But I would like to mulch first. And there's always the speed max. That's probably really the only option, isn't it? We could go with a small one, but 3 meters just feels like it will take all day. So I think it's the no. That'll be the go. So let's grab one of those. I'm trying to buy equipment now so that we reduce our leasing costs and get ourselves into a position where we don't have to buy something every time we have got work. And she doesn't live here, Ravi. She's I don't live with my sister. I have no idea what she's doing today. And you've seen what I'm doing. I'm sitting here playing Farm Sim, chatting with you guys. I could hardly run off and talk to someone else. I certainly, you see how much trouble I have with buttons and doing multiple things at once. And why happy birthday? Certainly not my birthday. We didn't have a look what was in the cheap list at the store. We should do that in just a second. Find out if we're saving up for anything else. Yeah, let's see. Get you started. So you can... You can probably just mulch straight up and down, actually, because we're going to watch you anyway. And that edge is fairly square. We'll just be careful as we approach the other side that we don't mulch out our sugar beet. It should go pretty well up there. What are you looking at? 89, 90 degrees. Yeah, that'll be fine. Excellent. Fill this guy up again. Welcome back, whoever's just popped in. Good to see you. Oop. Taking advantage of the market being open to sell a little bit of produce to get the day underway, get our cash back up. We'd like to be able to afford the pigs today, which I think should be doable. Kind of just depends what building we go for. We've started clearing the space. Now, you're going to take a minute to load. What's the most produce over here? That's empty. Tomatoes, flowers, lettuce, red cabbage. We might send the red cabbage. Let's do this one while we're here. And then we can do the red cabbage on the next load. It's in there. When he gets back, I'm guessing we can load up with honey. Send you back to the tree cell, and away we go. We're down here. Mulching is underway nicely. Wrong tractor. Okay, so let's get a couple more trees on this trailer loads that are in our way. From the back there. Didn't quite get it. Pick him up. And around we go. Up. It's always the way, isn't it? Not my favourite explore this one. Just going to be annoying. Welcome along, whoever's just joined us. Hope you're having a good afternoon, evening, in whatever part of the world you come from, or morning if you happen to be down under with me. There we go. There's a couple out of the way. Should have enough space to be able to cut our road in just a second. So what we're doing is we're just clearing a couple of trees out of the way so we can make them access up the hill there, because that's where we're going to put the pigs. Get off there. Right. That will do for now. Let's have a look. So, I don't think we've got any trees in our way just here. So we kind of want, I'm thinking, we want like a road just cut down here. If we have a look at the, it's a bit easier to see here. So I'm thinking sort of a roadway that sort of curls around here. If we have a look at piggeries or pigsties or whatever you want to call them. Barn with pigsty and cows. Apart from the fact that it's a bit expensive, it doesn't really fit in that location. What do we got here? So something like that would go on there, go in there quite nicely. What's this guy? 100 pigs for you. Obviously we've got to take a couple of trees out. 80 pigs for you. 80's probably on the small end. 200's kind of what I had in mind, but that's 87,324. You're not quite going to fit, are you? Although, no, you might. We might be able to make you. But we don't really have 130 grand. I think we want some sort of building with it. So, what do people think? I'm kind of leaning towards this one. And because we've got the enhanced animals mod, they will breed faster. So having, or when I say faster, the litters will contain more animals. So I am inclined to go for something that's got a little more capacity. So maybe something like that. Let's see what we can do about a road. Yeah, so he'll fit in there fine if we just move that tree. And therefore, let's get back into landscaping mode. So if we open you up, we just extend you out there a little bit, not too far, just not an excessive distance. And then what happens if we select that as the top, and how steep does that work out to be? Have a look what that looks like. We've got a thing over here, and that's not too bad. Move those trees from the bottom, a little bit of smoothing so we can see what's happening, but I reckon that'll work pretty well. Let's just do a little bit of painting so we can see what we've got happening here. So let's use that tech. For some reason they didn't include, the map maker didn't include the texture that he uses for tracks, which is just a bit of a shame. So we're forced to go with something a little bit different. There we go. That just helps us see where we are. And then we can decide where we want the bottom bit to go. Here's our... You've got to go back and load up again. Right. So we were just putting some trees on here. And we've managed to get ourselves slightly angled up. Just straighten those up. So let's go and empty this load. We can put these straight in our wood chipper. We've got half the field mulched, which is great. Yeah, that road's going to work up there all right. We can take it off down here somewhere and sort of follow the base of the hill round. And you can see our Better Bees beehive up on the top with its commanding view across the valley. The sheep coming along fine. Where's that bell point? I can never remember where the trigger is. You're not in it. That might be the problem. Right, you are. Let's try there. There is. No, that's unload. Oh, Fellwood, that's the one we want. So let's have a look at our productions while we're up here. So, bamboo. We're a little short on fertilizer by the looks. Yeah, we're running a bit low. We've got a little bit of, we need to make some more seed. That's the key. Do I happen to know the range of Mark's Better Bees? I'm told that it's 2K by 2K. So I think he implemented it to be a, is it 2K? Standard map size. So That's my understanding. The person to ask, who might pop in later if he's got a minute, is Cranky. I'm sure he will know. But it certainly looks like they're prolific. So let's just see what we've got. Lettuce, the flowers. We have enough seed to produce some flowers. We'll turn you back on. Our mulcher. We'll wait a little bit longer. We've got plenty of product in there. Red cabbage we can turn on. Hey, Pleasant View, how are you, sir? Happy when everybody pops in and says hi. That's all a bloke could ask for. So hope you are having a good week. Starting to stack up your list of winter chores, no doubt. Oh, while you're there, is there a... Oh, thank you very much. Is there a link if people want to download the Gleaner and your Alice Chalmers? Is there a link you'd like me to post, or would you prefer that I just leave it as it is? I mean, I put the credits in the description, but I didn't put any download links because I have not sure where to get them from. Tomatoes, we can activate tomatoes and strawberries. Thank you. Back. In just a sec, This is the bees output, Tanner, from, I don't even think I've had them in. I put them in the last episode, so it's like 1.5 game days. So yes, they are prolific. And we'll take you out of there. In fact, what we'll do is load you up, because I think bees sell pretty well too. You on that side. You auto load all of those, easy enough. Oh, you'll auto load sitting on there. That's very friendly of you. No, only one of them. Cool. Thank you. I will I'll update the episode, and it'll also be on the new one, because I'll talk more about the Gleaner when we actually get up to the harvest. Is there a header that you recommend for that Gleaner? G'day, Jason. Welcome along. Alright, what do we got here? 1851. We won't bother to go and sell you with just 1851. We'll just drop you off for the minute. What we might do... One sounds better than the try. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things I want to have for a couple of crops that that benefit from bees, because at some point we might actually put potatoes or something on here, but apart from that, they're just, oh, what are you doing? It's the downside of these. If you get the one into a discharge area from another, before you know it, the one you're carrying has nothing in it. Or not the product you want in it. So what have I got? I got 4,000 of, looks like LO. So that'll do. We'll go and sell that. Just every little bit of cash helps here as we get sorted for our pigs. And I've got to go and check on that mulch, make sure it doesn't run into our sugar beet, because that would be not good. Infantry cell, away you go. So where are you? You're getting awfully close. We'll fix you in a second. Yeah, well, that's why I thought I haven't used bees for a little while, and I did the same on my old stream farm map. I had a couple of fields that I thought they looked pretty cool, just sort of situated by, and I was putting canola in. But here I thought that's kind of a convenient spot for them. They can spawn in our garden centre, which sort of seems vaguely logical, and we'll just ship them off like we do with all the rest of the other products. So that works all right. Let's get back over here. So we've now got a little road that we've constructed up the edge there. Let's stop this mulcher before he creates chaos. We'll do the last 2 rows. And then we can go back and get the cultivator. We can get him cultivating, and you never know, we might even get this. What month are we in? August. I can't remember. Can I seed barley in August, or have I got to wait till September? I think it might be September. Let's just pop down here, quick as you like. Great to see you. Pleasant view. Have a good one. And thanks again for letting me use the Gleaner and the Alice on Silver Run. They're terrific. They fit the storyline just beautifully. Haven't seen Hod 1 today, Jason. Ravi was with us for a bit. I'm not sure if he's there. Ravi's, we found out, is from Romania. He could be lurking. What's it look like we've got? I can only see numbers, and it's possible there is a lurker. I'm just trying to think. Sometimes Model House Man lurks from because he's at work. There's somebody else whose name escapes me for the minute who's often at work and can't chat. Right, well that's a good job done. Does anyone in chat know the best time to forage corn? I know you don't have to wait until it's, particularly with Maize Plus, you don't have to wait until it's in harvest state. You can actually potentially get it now, but I just don't know what we should be doing. So if anybody's got expert knowledge, that would be much appreciated. So that's the mulching done. So 2 months before a full harvest. Okay. Let's see, can I just squeak you behind the trailer and in there without breaking anything? There we go. That'll do. The field info display says it's in a forage state. Ah, okay. So if I walk into the field, that should tell me. Corn growing. So that would suggest it's got at least a month to go. Let's have a look here. So corn normally harvests in October, November. There's every chance we put this lot in at the end, so it might reach that 2 months early state next month, if I'm reading this correctly. Let's have a look in the... Yeah, we're sort of getting there, but not quite. It's probably close, is the answer. And I'm using additional field info as well. Is that likely to be misleading me? I don't think I've run a game without additional field info on. So, okay. Where are we up to? We need to get that truck coming back to potted tree load. Very good. You'll get out because it's only 8 o'clock. Yours shows what growth stage by number of stages out of total. Ah. I wonder if I've got an old version, but it doesn't tell me it needs an update. That's very odd. I don't know why. That tree's bugging me. Let's get those cleared off. Now let's head up here for a second. This is our new little track. A little bit of filling in to do and smoothing to do there. This tree has to come out. And I think we found a tree that... No, there we go. I'm guessing this one's not defined properly, which is why he was hard to pick up. There we go. And we'll take this one over here as well, just to make sure we've got maximum flexibility. Growth stage info mod. Okay. I definitely don't have that on. Are you going to be a pain? You're a buried tree. Good on you. That's going to cause me a problem later. We'll come back and find that. And now we bring our trailer up and our little loggy lifter upper, I thingy. Wood grab, that's the words I'm looking for. Spotted tree load, so he's over there. We'll send another load across. We send this time. Let us send whatever that is over on the end there. The red cabbage, I think. And that'll be pretty much all the produce that we're going to sell for today. We need to check where the red produce, the red cabbage needs to go. So do people have plans? Is Christmas sort of the end of year holiday something that is celebrated in your households or not? Here, the closest thing we have to a tradition is a lunch at our house. We quite like everybody coming to us, so we get different people. Oops, let's try and send you. No, you're not going there. We need to look where you're going. Let's have a look here. Red cabbage. Farmers market is the place, and I have put a red cabbage fruit and veg sell point at the farmers market. So you should be able to do that yourself. So that's you over there. Let's cut these trees. FS26. Right, factory shut down. How long's the factory closed for? And is that a big maintenance sort of period? Is it that nature, or is it just to give everybody a break? Oh, fell down the hill. Good on you. Come on. What are you? You can probably just stay at 7 meters. I don't care. Now, picker-upper. Highly technical piece of equipment. The wood picker-upper. And then we can try and figure out, I wonder if I've got any loan capacity. Can I pay for any more? Can we borrow to get this big facility happening thing? Right, let's see here. Any interesting bits of kit going in for this period, or is it all sort of routine stuff? Got a bit of an angle there. Let's try and not fall off the edge. Really ruin your day. Okay, that works. Get off there. That's better. Kind of like feeding kids. You've got to hold your mouth a certain way while you put the spoon in. Ah, okay. Sounds like it's kind of potentially interesting because you've got an opportunity to work on things when you're not the main sort of game. Did that sell? That doesn't look like that's sold, so we might have to just duck across to the market to make sure we can rescue him before he... They're always the fun projects, Jason. You got to have a good project manager. Oh, come on, guys. I had it. Get out of there. Let's just duck across to the other one. So the sell point's just further forward, is it? Yes, it is. So we'll fix that while we're here. You up a bit. Move you, move you, move you, move you. Just move you up a smidge. Could put it on the other point, but right, that should do it. Turn that off and then send you back to potted tree load. You should get out before the bollards come up. I had to think about my new map exploration project, Jason. Thinking I need to make myself a remote control capability keystroke for the bollards. Sort of like a privileged user of the farmer's market would be handy. Yeah, and 2 weeks on, when you get it done, you'll feel like you've really accomplished something, and people will come back after the break and go, oh, wow, that's, somebody will notice. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, it's about having a trigger. And I just thought I'd look into how those sorts of triggers work. Oops, what's happening here? Open. There we go. So we've probably got about as much money as we're going to get today. Yeah, I've moved whole data centers in a weekend. That gets pretty exciting. In fact, my very first project, back when the IT industry didn't really call them projects, was many moons ago, was a mainframe upgrade that required basically all of the major components, so disk and processor, taken out of the room because there wasn't enough space in the computer room for the old configuration and the new configuration. So, and of course the business ran on the system, so we were able to negotiate an early mark for the business. They sort of closed their systems off at lunchtime on a Friday so that we could get people in to start the removal. And I had to have, as a newly minted systems engineer, I had to have all of the stuff lined up to go like clockwork to make sure that we had the system in enough time to test it that we could potentially revert if there was some catastrophic problem that we discovered, you know, late in the build on the Sunday. So that was a there wasn't probably the most exciting episode was Saturday lunchtime. I took it was getting a bit stressful, people were getting a bit tired, they'd sort of worked pretty long, some of them through the Friday night, and things were going okay, but so I took a couple of the guys out to get burgers and just create a bit of space, and we came back to find that oh, absolutely true, Jason. They do. But yeah, we've came back from lunch to find the Sparky sitting in the middle of the computer room welding a new, I don't know what the term for it is, that it's basically a ground connector, I guess, in the middle of the computer room. Now there was no, well, the gear and cables sort of scattered around all over the place. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that he hadn't deactivated the halon, and he's sitting there with the smoke detection active and welding away, and the facility manager who I'd taken the lunch just about, I thought he was going to have a cow, because if the halon had dropped, we knew from past experience, because they tested it when they installed it, it was one of those 80s computer rooms where so much money was spent in there that the board wanted to be able to see the equipment, so it had glass windows along the hallway. Well, we knew that if the halon dropped, it blew the glass out, and that would really have messed up our weekend, I can tell you. But, you know, get up there. Angle's not working for me. And strangely enough, the 2.5 ton weight on the back is not either. G'day, and well, yes, there were a couple of conversations around it's all well and good to blame the Sparky, but was it actually his job to turn it off? Yes, he should have probably checked that it was off. He was certainly experienced enough to know that it should have been. Let's just cut you off there. I was just glad that I didn't have an issue that I hadn't really planned for to deal with. Okay, so we can and all the logs from up there. Now I am, is that late? Is your, I'm sorry I can't read those characters. Whoever's just joined, welcome along. The thing that was out of sequence, Jason, was actually that he'd chosen that time to do the welding. So he was using initiative, he thought, to get a job done that was actually at another time period in the plan. So it's one of those, it's like so close to being a train wreck. Yeah, can I get out of there? I've gone and got myself well and truly stuck, have I? Get down the hill. Let gravity work for us, come on. We're certainly talking about a, you know, it wasn't a big data center crew. You know, these are days where you've got much more money tied up in the gear than you have in the staff to operate it. You know, we're talking millions of dollars worth of equipment, you know, boxes that were the size of modern day fridges, but weighed, you know, the heaviest would have been a ton or 1,100 kilos. All sorts of fun and games getting those in. So here's where I'm thinking of putting the piggery. Is that another tree I've got sitting over there? That's just a bushy thingy. That's a bushy thingy. That's a buried tree. Is what that is. Okay. Let's just get you out of the way, because you're a problem otherwise. Don't think we need this hillside, but let's just try. Now, how much cash do we need for our pigs? We go with this one, which is my inclination. We need 80 odd grand. So what can we do to generate 50? I think we want the building. And there wasn't a huge range that I could see, because I think 80 pigs is too small. So given that we're running the mod which creates litters. So what have we got in the financial? I think we ranked it up to half a mil. We did. Yes, exactly. I hadn't actually tried to do much landscaping on Middleborough, and I was sort of just concentrating on playing it as it was. It's quite nicely done. But let's have I got... I have got, okay. So we want to adjust the balance. So let's borrow another 100k. That's the bank manager mod, folks, if you haven't seen that before. And we're a little overextended, but I would like to get the pigs in. And I didn't want to F12 it. I'm trying not to do that on this map. So pigs. So we'll go with this one. I'm thinking we just sort of go with something like this. There'll be enough room to run a fence of sorts down the railway line side. Overlaps with another object, of course you do. Well, let's flatten you out here. Right, there we go. It sort of wants to put it down in there. Discovered when you exceed the game loan limit using Bank Manager, the loan resets to base game max whenever you repay any. I must admit, raising that up just then is the largest loan I've had. I'm just thinking here, where is the trigger for that feed? Is it round the corner there? Let's just have a look. Better to be safe than sorry. Just because it'll... Sheep, try pigs. It's not quite round the corner. So if I put you over here a little bit. If I position you like so, you're going to smooth out and wreck my road if I don't put you on like that. So then we'll turn that off. Okay, so we've got a slurry point. Got a little bit of fiddly-redoovy. And we need some fencing. So what we'll do for the fence... Can't get rid of that little... That's what was causing the collision. There's another one of those buried trees. Probably Smooth him out. That'll do. Now, let's go. Fences. What sort of fence would we put on the piggery? Something along... We don't want it to be too heavy duty, do we? That's kind of rustic. And we want the gate to go the other way. Probably. Like no. And then there we go. That kind of looks a little like it's supposed to be there. Not too bad. Let's see if we can do a little bit of landscaping painting. What have we got here? Animal mud. Definitely animal mud at the piggery. Plenty thereof. With a little bit of colour. That's cobblestone. We don't want cobblestone. Forest ground. That's better. And how big a headers are you looking for? Oh, Pleasant View. It's something that's appropriate for the gleaner. That I left it off in the first video because I wasn't sure what I could put on it. Ultimately, I need corn and regular, but nothing that looks wildly wrong. So something that sort of matches the era in horsepower, which I'm guessing is probably around about the sort of 6 to 7 meter mark. So I was just gonna, I didn't know if you could just grab like a an ideal or case header and that would grab on it, because the scenario I was happy to go with was that whilst, you know, her grandfather and father had been able to restore the gleaner itself, the header was past recovery, and so that's why Jake's got to buy one. But if you've got one that's kind of good to go, then yeah, absolutely, I can work that in. But I don't want you, I know you got a lot on and it's this time of the year. I don't want you doing any extra stuff to make something. The story's just already sort of done what I wanted, just getting to where it is, so. Right, so we want to put a little bit down the center of our track here. We need to Oh, look, that's wonderful, mate. Thank you. Really appreciate it. That is tremendous. Let's just do that. That looks like I fixed the hole in there. Let's try that one. And then around here, while we're looking at the road. Sorry, folks, this isn't much farming, but I kind of like it to sort of look like it belongs. That kind of looks not too bad, and then we'll grab some plants. Well, that's really interesting, PVF. I've been trying to read up a little because it's not a brand I know anything about at all. I'd never heard of them before I saw yours, so let's see here. That doesn't look horribly out of place there, does it? Probably need a little bit down. To there. Just continue that around. Cool. So now we have somewhere to put pigs. We don't have any trailers, so let's grab some. What varieties, folks? What sorts of pigs should we be putting down here? Any particular faves? I'm thinking of putting because they breed quite quickly, I'm thinking of putting like 10 in to start us off. No, maybe 20. 20 would be better. So let's go with 10 black pied. And well, we are somewhere in Germany. Let's get just 10 landrace. So now we need to figure out what to feed them, because I cannot remember what the Maize Plus requirements for piggles are. And what is the keystroke for my little mod that tells us the answer to that question? So we have a little Maize Plus helper mod for animal feeding, which animal food overview, right control, right shift. I was close. There it is here. Pigs. CCM, corn grain grist. Soybeans, canola. We don't have much at all. In fact, we can make some corn grist next time. We will get some sugar beet cut when we And potentially fresh maize we can deal with. What's the difference between fresh maize and corn? Oh, they're the heads. Okay. Well, sugar beet cut we'll be able to do. Corn, if we leave part of that field, we'll be able to pull some corn off it. Brewer's grain. So it looks like we need to buy some food. Okay. Corn grain grist. So we can make some grist. And we can make some CCM. Right. So that's a job for next week. In the meantime, what we will do is take these up and go across to the store. We'll buy a couple of bags of those products to at least get them some food to get us through. And I'll do, well, next time we'll hopefully be able to harvest or start the corn process. And we'll take care of that. Sounds like a plan. What's the new gleaner you're working on, PVF? Okay, where are we here? Interactive zone markers, turn you off. There's the wood gone. This will do for transport, so we can head back. Looking ahead to the holiday season, I'm planning pretty much to maintain the same streaming schedule. Depending on what happens, I might throw an extra surprise one in here or there if some clever idea takes my fancy. The stream that I'd added that's on a Monday night for me, so Monday morning for Europe and the US, or late ridiculous o'clock for the US, but that I've been doing Adelshoven. It looks like it's a potentially interesting streaming slot. There's certainly a couple of Aussies that pop in, although Adelshoven itself isn't proving to be super popular, so that's not a great surprise. So what I'm thinking of giving a whirl there is picking a map every week and using that slot as sort of like a longer form map review. So what strikes me is a lot of people do videos of map reviews, and I'm not necessarily trying to compete with those, but I find that they don't kind of get into, they give you a quick pass over the map and end up talking about how beautiful it looks, and that's about it. What I'm thinking of doing is actually something which is just sort of, well, let's put a couple of hours into playing it and see how it plays, because that's when you find the issues and the things that you like or you don't like. And so, and rather than start on new farmer mode, because I can't ever imagine starting on new farmer mode. I think I did that my first time, and since then I'm always start from scratch or farm manager. So I'm thinking of something along those sort of lines, and then just literally picking a map each week or every couple of weeks and seeing how that goes. And that format then potentially lends itself to people that can't participate in the stream can still catch up on the map review afterwards. So we might from next week see how that goes, because there's lots of maps coming out. Right, so what we wanted to do here was to buy some stuff that we can feed the pigs. So there's plenty of seed. So this Duca pig food. So one would imagine that's kind of like a balanced pig food. Why don't we grab one of those? Why don't we grab 4 of those? I'm guessing that is balanced. And let's see what they do. Hay pellets and seeds. Okay, cool. So with that in mind, the question that I'd put to chat is that I have a couple of ideas, but I'm certainly not set on something. I haven't been sort of triggered by a particular map. Is there a map that you guys are interested in having a look at that you haven't got to, or would sort of rate for a place to start? Oops. Why is my super strength not behaving properly? Interesting. Can I trail? Got a hitch, but that's a 3-point, and there's no other hitch on the back of that. Okay. So if people have got nominated, want to suggest maps, go right ahead. I will have a look at them and definitely consider. If you don't, I'll just pick one anyway, obviously. I do have half an idea for Durang, which is a Victorian map that Argsy's been playing in the middle of the week. But I am having difficulty getting it to download, which is a shame. So it's a 4X map based in the Western Districts up near Mildura here in Victoria. But it's very much a big equipment, huge fields sort of map. So different to what I would usually play myself. That doesn't look too bad over there, I reckon. Merging in. I'm thinking that hard stand area that's off to the left of where we just put the piggery might be somewhere we can put small BGA in for ourselves. And I'm thinking that we'll run our road around the base here when I move those trees that are in front of me up there. Shame the texture that comes inside that map. Seeing maps with good themes. Okay. Yeah, I certainly have a preference for maps that feel worked on and finished. Okay, that's loading up, so let's see. So, you know, so this one was a good example. It had a couple of neat ideas in it, and it just kind of felt nice. The map that, so Bally Spring, that FSG did some time on, Richlands, Ohio, those two recently were good. Italia, I might even have Italia actually. Let's see what that food did to our pigs. So that gave us concentrate and moisture food only. That's interesting. No protein or energy. Oh, unless it didn't put enough in to register, that's always a chance too. No, it's not giving us protein or energy. So if we have a look at our pigs, protein, brewer's grain or brewer's grain silage, and our corn. Well, we'll get there. So I think they're just gonna have to put up with the food that they've got. They're pigs, they'll eat anything. What is that? I reckon it's a Maize Plus thing, and the pig food that I grabbed is part of the Maize Plus mod. So where are we? Let's look in the correct. So I grabbed, where is it? Down here somewhere. This Doika, is it? Duca pig food, which is part of the Maize Plus package. So the fact that it's only feeding two is either a bug, and it could just be a bug. It could be that simple. So we've put 4,000. Yeah. So it's just a bug how it's being added, would be my guess. Because it looks like it should feed all 4 bars. But never mind. We just need to work harder and get more crops in the ground. It's just that simple. They're not going to starve now that they've got something to eat. Well, that was what I was just thinking, is do I then, let's look at the right. What are the products that I can get here? So I don't think I've got anywhere on the map I can buy soy or canola. I might be able to buy some brewer's grain. No, Tito. My dog's huffing at me. He's decided that I should be doing something else. And then the straight grains, I don't think I can buy on the map at the moment. I would have to put down a multi-fruit buy point. Yeah. So there's nowhere on the map I can buy a straight grain. But that's why I kind of figured, let's have a look. Is there's anything in the pallets? Ah, I didn't notice that. Good pickup. Oh. So the grist, so I can buy some corn. Beet pellet, and I can buy some beet pellets, and I can buy some grain grist. Okay, so there's more stuff in here. Fillable pallets, molasses, filtered water, luprasil. Can buy which food group did carrots fit into? The carrots are pretty cheap. So we might go back to the store and buy some carrots and potentially some beet pellets. So let's just have a look here. I wonder if beet pellets are the same as beet pulp. Hey, Pick by James, welcome along. Mein kostet du mal aufzeigen. That's beyond my German capability, I'm sorry. If someone can drop it in translate, that would be helpful. And Bruce Salter, good evening. We're just trying to figure out how to feed the pigs. We've managed to get them some concentrate, so we don't want to buy any grain grist, and this is what Jason was talking about. So the beet pellets are just more concentrate. I still reckon that the Duke, because we didn't buy Duca grain grist, we bought Duca pig food. I still reckon it's supposed to be general, and I can see here that carrots are moisture food. I reckon it's a bug with that pig food package myself. I reckon it is supposed to do these at 2 other categories. He'd like to see my yard. Right. Thank you very much. So, we can do that right now, sir. Because we're not going to worry too much about the pigs this time. They've got some food. They're not going to starve. We do need to put a manure point. I don't know if I can put straw into that either. So up here on the hill, we have put some pigs and some sheep, and actually the easiest way to do this, let's just, for those that haven't seen it, let's do a quick vertical tour. It's a bit easier. So we started out over in the garden centre, and so we've now sort of got the garden centre operational, and we have, g'day William Parker, and we have a wood chipping capability, because as you can see, this map's lightly forested, which works quite well for us. So we've got a composting operation. We grow vegetables and we ship them off to the market, vegetables and trees, and we ship them off to the market. We've just put our pigs in, and we've got some sheep, and a spinnery, and we haven't put our first wool in the spinnery, so that's just beginning. Our main yard is down here. Our house is up on the hill there. And no, I don't tend to do multiplayer very often, William, and certainly I don't have my own server. But you're welcome to watch along and see what you like. So this is the main yard for Picks by Janes. So we're still very much in establishment mode. We've put down some cows tucked away in the corner. We've got some grain, a bit of, and this is why Jason very kindly refers to it as my mess. A little maintenance area and up there, and our portrait harvester peeking down. Whoops, which button? That button. Down in the shed with some equipment. So that's the main yard. Bits and pieces scattered about. We do experiment with lots of sorts of kit here. Our silage is done. Corn's coming along. Hopefully we'll be able to forage some of that next time. We've got some beets which will be getting pretty close to harvest next time as well. And we're prepping field over here probably to put some more barley back in. And ideally we want to be using some cash next time to buy those next fields up to the freeway. So there's the tour. Oh, there's our bees as well. So that is the tour. And with that said, we've clicked over the hour, so this is probably as good a place as any to stop. I'm just going to head back and pick up our cultivator because we want to also be able to cultivate that field next time. But I've knocked off all the things that were on my list today to get done. If anyone's got any suggestions on maps, I'm happy to take those to have a look at for the stream, the first stream next week. As does Argsy, Jason. And so if William, I think you were in Argsy's chat during the week. So if you join Argsy's Discord, you'll find some multiplayer servers there that I'm sure people would be happy to have you play along. Farm Sim Guy has them too, Jason. It's just to get access to Farm Sim Guys, you need to join. You need to be a subscriber to his channel, just so that he can manage the volume. And I'm not sure William's up for that. The other thing though is, if you get a bit active in some of the Discord servers going around, you'll find people that will have cross-play servers, and that's the big challenge on PS4, is just getting something which is fully cross-play. So here's where we're going to leave it. I'm just heading back to the oh, I don't want to be taking that trailer with me. What am I doing? What am I doing? Leave that there. Rain fade. But I'm going to leave it right there, folks. Thanks for coming in. It's really great to see you there. If you have your own family activities for the end of year, sort of kick into gear next week, and we don't see you, have a happy and safe festive season. But if you can join us through the same schedule as always next week, I'll look forward to it. But until then, see ya.